She smiled for the camera, seconds after being told her husband was dead. But this wasn't grief, this was a setup. In one of Florida's most bizarre true crime cases, police recorded every moment, and what they caught was a murder-for-hire plot unfolding in real time.
Dalia Dippolito appeared to be a devoted wife. Living in Boynton Beach, Florida, she seemed to enjoy a comfortable life with her husband, Michael. But beneath the surface, something darker brewed. In 2009, Michael Dippolito had no idea he was being watched by police. And even more shocking, his own wife had put the wheels in motion. A confidential tip came in. Someone had approached a man looking to have Michael killed. The name? Dalia Dippolito. Police launched an undercover operation. An officer posed as a hitman. He would record everything from planning to payment. Dalia met the undercover cop in a parked car. She laughed. She talked money. She didn't hesitate. On camera, she told him, "I'm not going to change my mind. I'm 5,000% sure." The officer promised the job would be done the next morning. Michael would be home. Dalia handed over a photo of her husband, a code to their house, and a small cash deposit. She even asked if he could make it look like a burglary. Everything was captured on video, and police had what they needed. Now came the next part, convincing Dalia the murder had happened. Early the next morning, police staged a crime scene. Yellow tape, officers in place. A phony detective knocking on her door. They told her Michael was gunshot by an intruder. Dalia collapsed into the arms of a fake officer. She wept, cameras rolled. But the real show was yet to come. Minutes later, police brought Dalia to the station for questioning. She didn't know the hitman was a cop. Then came the twist. Michael Dippolito walked in, very much alive. Her reaction? Utter shock. Dalia was arrested on the spot. The video of her fake breakdown and her real arrest spread like wildfire. The world was watching. And so began one of the most unbelievable trials in recent memory. Michael Dippolito was no stranger to trouble. He had a past, including convictions for fraud. But when he met Dalia in 2008, things changed fast. They married within months. Michael claimed she was sweet, supportive, and charming. But behind the scenes, things were different. Dalia allegedly began manipulating Michael early on. She convinced him to put their home in her name. She pressured him to go off probation. She also tried to frame him, planting drugs in his car and calling police. Authorities now believe this was part of her plan to get him out of the way. Dalia's affair with another man also surfaced. Phone records, texts, and testimony revealed she was seeing someone else while plotting to kill her husband. Michael said he had no idea. He thought their relationship was going through normal ups and downs. He was stunned to learn she wanted him dead. "I was sleeping next to the person who was trying to kill me," he later told reporters. Investigators dug into Dalia's financial records. Motive became clearer. She wanted insurance money, his assets, and a clean break from the man she once called her soulmate. But Dalia's defense claimed otherwise. They said she was acting, that she knew it was a setup. Her attorney said it was all part of a fake TV show audition, a prank gone too far. The jury wasn't convinced. The courtroom was packed. Media swarmed the story. The footage was shown over and over. Dalia became a headline, a meme, a case study in betrayal. And Michael? He just wanted to move on. The first trial began in 2011. The prosecution leaned heavily on video evidence. Dalia's words, her body language, her calm discussion of murder, all played on screens in court. The jury saw it all. The staged crime scene. Her tears. The moment she learned Michael was alive. Dalia's defense argued entrapment. They said police baited her, manipulated her into making those statements. But prosecutors countered with facts. Dalia had reached out first. She had driven the plan. She had paid the man she thought was a killer. In 2011, the jury found her guilty. Dalia Dippolito was sentenced to 20 years in prison. But that wasn't the end. Appeals followed. Her conviction was overturned in 2014, citing errors in jury selection. A retrial was ordered, then came a hung jury. More delays. More headlines. The third trial began in 2017. Once again, the videos resurfaced. Once again, the public watched. Dalia's defense held firm, claiming it was never real. But her past actions, phone calls, and interviews painted a different picture. This time, the jury deliberated carefully. And when the verdict came, it was the same. Guilty. Dalia Dippolito was sentenced again. This time to 16 years in prison. She cried in court. But for many, her tears were too little, too late. Today, the case of Dalia Dippolito remains one of the most infamous betrayal plots in modern true crime. It's taught in law classes. It's featured in documentaries. It raises questions about motive, manipulation, and media. Michael Dippolito went into hiding after the verdict. He wanted peace. He remarried. He rebuilt his life. He still lives with the memory that his wife tried to have him killed and nearly succeeded. Dalia's supporters claim she was railroaded, that it was an over-policed reality show-style setup, but the evidence, many argue, speaks for itself. She remains in a Florida prison. She has filed appeals. None have worked. Her case still sparks debate about justice, about gender roles, about whether people can be redeemed. Dalia continues to maintain her innocence. She gave interviews from prison, calling it a misunderstanding. But for most, the facts are chilling. A woman wanted her husband dead and nearly got away with it. The hidden camera footage lives online, a reminder of how real life can sometimes outdo fiction. And how easily love can turn into a lethal lie. In the end, this wasn't just a case about crime. It was a mirror reflecting obsession, deceit, and consequences. The story of Dalia Dippolito isn't just unforgettable. It's a warning.
Okay, let's unpack this. Get this incredible scenario. A woman decides she wants her husband dead, not divorced. No, she hires a hitman. And the really, truly shocking part, the whole plot, planning it, discussing the details, it's all caught on video by the guy she thinks is the actual hitman.
It really does sound like something straight out of a dark crime movie, doesn't it?
Totally.
But this is the real life case of Dalia Dippolito. Happened down in Boynton Beach, Florida. This was back in 2009.
And today, we're doing a deep dive into the material you shared with us on this just sensational case. Our mission really is to pull out the key details for you, the listener. You know, the evidence, the legal twists and turns.
Right.
We're focusing on the main players, Dalia Dippolito, her husband Michael, and crucially, the undercover police officer who, well, became the fake hitman.
So let's start maybe setting the scene a bit.
Yeah.
Dalia and Manuel Dippolito, they were married, but according to the material we have, it sounds like it was far from a happy situation.
Yeah, seems like it.
There were reports of pretty serious marital problems. Infidelity mentioned, lots of discord, just creating a lot of tension there.
And our sources really emphasize this point. Instead of looking at, say, legal separation or trying to work things out, Dalia chose a completely different and, well, really dangerous path. It seems she decided the best way out of the marriage was through deception and violence.
Which is what led her down this just unbelievable road. She actually reached out to someone. She believed this person could, well, carry out her plan. She thought she was hiring a hitman.
But here's the twist, and it's absolutely central to everything. The person she contacted, not a criminal at all.
No.
It was an undercover police officer. The police had apparently gotten a tip about a possible murder plot.
Right.
And they sent an officer in to investigate.
And this officer didn't just listen in. They started gathering actual evidence, started recording conversations, their interactions with Dalia. And what the material describes is, frankly, a chilling series of video recordings that came out of these meetings.
That's where it gets really stark, isn't it? The source material describes Dalia's demeanor in those videos. How does it put it? Cold and calculated.
Exactly, as she's just laying out her plans to have her husband killed.
And it wasn't vague either, was it?
No, not at all. She gave specific details. She told the undercover officer exactly how she wanted it to look, like a home invasion that had gone tragically wrong.
Wow. So the police have this incredibly disturbing video evidence, and they decide to take it a step further.
Yeah, they set up this pretty elaborate sting operation. They actually staged a crime scene.
Made it look exactly like the scenario Dalia described.
Precisely. To make it appear as if Michael Dippolito had actually been murdered in a botched home invasion.
And the culmination of this sting
Was really dramatic. Dalia gets this staged phone call. She's told, that her husband is dead.
And then what happened, according to the material?
Well, shortly after that phone call, the police move in. It's this stunning confrontation. They arrest Dalia, and then they drop the bombshell. The man she hired, the hitman. He was an undercover cop.
And he recorded everything.
Everything.
You can just imagine. I mean, this case, with that video footage, the sting, it just blew up, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Became a national sensation almost overnight. Headlines everywhere. The public was completely captivated. And those videos, they were played over and over on the news.
So, okay, she's arrested. She goes to trial. But facing that kind of video evidence, what could the defense even do?
Well, it was definitely an uphill battle. Looking at the material, their strategy involved trying to challenge that video evidence directly. They argued that Dalia was actually coerced by the police.
Coerced into saying those things on tape.
That was the claim, that she didn't really mean it, that the police pressured her.
Okay.
And they also offered this really unusual alternative explanation. They argued she wasn't genuinely plotting a murder, but that she was simply, quote, engaging in acting.
Acting for what?
Get this, because she supposedly believed she was part of some kind of reality TV show setup.
Seriously? A reality show?
That was the argument presented.
Yeah.
That it wasn't real intent.
Wow. Okay, so how did that play out in court? The first trial was when? 2011?
That's right, 2011. And despite that defense, the prosecution obviously leaned heavily on the video evidence.
And the jury?
The jury delivered a pretty swift verdict. Found her guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder, basically guilty of trying to hire the hitman.
And the sentence for that first conviction?
20 years in prison.
20 years. But as often happens, that wasn't quite the end of the story, was it?
No, it wasn't. Her conviction was later overturned on appeal.
Why? What was the reason?
The reason cited was procedural errors during that first trial. The material doesn't spell out the exact errors, but they were significant enough that the appeals court ordered a whole new trial.
Okay, so round two. A second trial. When did that happen?
That was in 2016. Dalia facing the exact same charges all over again.
And the prosecution's case? Still centered on the videos.
Absolutely. That damning video evidence was front and center once more.
And the result?
The result, basically mirrored the first trial. She was convicted again for the second time.
Right. And the final sentence after that second conviction?
This time, it was 16 years in prison.
16 years. So when we step back and look at the bigger picture, what does the material suggest are the sort of the broader takeaways from this whole saga?
Well, it points to a few things. For one, it's often framed as this chilling reminder, a reminder of the potential for dark intentions, for evil even, that could exist within seemingly ordinary people.
Yeah, her actions, and especially having those videos out there for everyone to see, it definitely left a mark, didn't it?
An indelible mark on the public consciousness, the source puts it. But the case also, importantly, sparked some really significant discussions.
About what specifically?
About the methods police use, specifically the role of law enforcement in conducting these kinds of sting operations, and the ethics, the effectiveness of using undercover tactics to catch potential criminals before they actually commit the final act.
That's a tricky area, isn't it? It also seems to highlight just how crucial thorough investigations are in these complex situations.
Absolutely. And it underscores the sheer value, the power of video evidence in the pursuit of justice.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the material we looked at kind of presents this whole thing as a cautionary tale.
A warning.
Yeah, a warning about the dark places unchecked emotions can lead, about resorting to violence to escape difficult situations and the dangerous consequences.
And her conviction, despite all the legal back and forth, the appeals, it stands as proof of the system working in a way.
It's presented that way, yes. Yeah. It's a testament to the efforts of law enforcement and the justice system to bring these kinds of plots to light and hold people accountable.
So wrapping up this deep dive then, it's been a look at a truly sensational case, defined by that shocking video, the dramatic sting, the multiple trials.
And those really big questions about intent versus performance and about police tactics.
Right. We saw the plot itself back in 2009, then the first trial in 2011, the appeal, and the second trial finally wrapping things up legally in 2016 with that 16-year sentence.
Yeah.
It really shows you the power that video evidence can have. But it also, makes you think about the lengths law enforcement sometimes goes to in order to gather that evidence.
And that brings us to a really fascinating question, maybe for you, the listener, to ponder.
Yeah.
Given that defense claim, the whole I was just acting for a reality show thing, how does the legal system really draw the line between someone performing, maybe foolishly, and someone having genuine criminal intent when their actions are caught on camera like that? Where is that line?
That is a tough one. Definitely a lot to think about after digging into this material together.